There's another anime that on episode 9 of Dreamcast, I remember Eric's Blue has mentioned this a few times. Hetalia Access Powers, the anime, and I actually don't want to do a full-blown review on it because I don't think this anime warrants it because it's 5 minutes. It's another comedy, but it's a history-based comedy. But I want to get your thoughts on it as well because I know you've got a lot to say about it, and I just think I just want us to talk about it just a little bit.
I'm a Hetalia fangirl, so I actually really love the show.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing was, the first time someone mentioned the show to me, I was actually watching a TV series called World at War, because I was educating myself on history. We spoke about this in Dreamcast episode 11. I know I'm doing a lot of callbacks, people. You can crucify me for that later. But basically, I just reacquainted myself with world history. I didn't really learn about much. I really didn't learn that much about World War II in school because, again, I'm going to criticize the British school system. My school was more focused on just learning about British history. And a lot of Americans I speak to say Americans only focus on American history as well. The country you live on, to focus on the history of the country you're in. They don't really do world history. So anyway, Eric's Blue recommended to me, yeah, you should check out Italia because it's about mostly World War II and it has all these countries in, they're poking fun at each other, this, that, and the other. And I thought to myself, that sounds cool. Sounds like an interesting idea. Over time, more people have recommended it to me. And only recently have I finished the first 2 seasons, I believe. Is season 1 and 2 52 episodes?
Yeah, I believe that's the first and second season, Access Powers.
That's right, yeah, Access Powers. And 5 minutes an episode, which is odd. But maybe it's a good thing with the series. And what I'm going to do, Angel, because like I said, it's going to be short, I'm just going to run through my entire thoughts on it in a mini ramble, and then I'm going to let you have your piece on it. How does that sound?
All right, I'll try to keep my mouth shut.
Everyone shut up! Germany! We've called this conference to solve the world's problems, not to fight about the problems of our past. And since I'm the only country who seems to know how to run a meeting, we'll follow my rules from here on out. 8 minutes each for speeches, no chit-chatting or side deals, and absolutely no going over the time limit. Now, if you want to go, make sure you're prepared and raise your hand, but do so in a way that does not mock heinous salutes of my country's past. Germany recognizes its friend Italy.
So I watched this recently. What did I think of it? The animation, first of all. The animation was okay. They did a couple of chibi stuff, which I thought was quite funny. And other times, I guess the character models did look duplicated, and most of the time only their eyes or their hair were different. But they had the same body shape and size, and they just looked slightly different. I don't really consider that criticism. It's just a comedy spoof anime anyway. I'm not expecting anything phenomenal. It's 5 minutes an episode, for God's sake. I just thought it was okay. It's more about the dialogue anyway. So first of all, animation's okay, nothing special. Watched the English dub Funimation. Glad I did, because I really don't think I'd enjoy this in the sub at all, really. I thought they did an okay job of the dub. Italy pissed me off a little bit, but I think that was intentional. He sounded like a whiny bitch. If I was Italian, I'd be extremely offended because, there's a joke. And I'm like, hey, I could take a joke, but damn. They really, all through that series, I don't consider it a spoiler, Italy is the pussy of the entire series. They're the country that they just mock Italy to the highest degree. And, I wanted to laugh at the same time, and I know it's just a comedy, but I don't know, they were touching on some elements that were based on real history. Like, basically, they were Germany's bitch, which I thought was, very insensitive. It was funny, but I was like, God damn, ease up a little bit. But nah, they kept on making, Italy's coward, Italy's a bitch, Italy loves women, Italy, the stereotypes and all that. And obviously, that's what the show was about, just highlighting the stereotypes. But with Italy in particular, man, they did not let up at all, and I thought that was kind of harsh. But hey, it was comedy. Yeah, everything else was okay. A lot of people criticized the anime for being somewhat historically inaccurate, but again, I would expect that to be on purpose because it's a comedy. It wouldn't be funny if it was historically accurate 100% of the time. It's meant to poke fun at each other. But for the most part, I was kind of not laughing out loud. I was kind of, yeah, that was kind of funny, and it irritated me. The skipping every 5 minutes kind of irritated me. I was like, just put this all together. Hetalia! What's it with Hetalia? What's it with Hetalia? I'm like, fuck! Just stop the Italians! Watch it and stop with this Hetalia! Fuck! I got pissed off, and then I kept on skipping every 2 minutes, and sometimes I would even forget that it was 5 minutes. So I'll be watching it, eating my food. Hetalia! It's over. And then that ending theme song is kind of hilarious, but it gets really annoying every 4 minutes. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And yeah, they do sing in different languages, which is kind of cool, but it kind of wears on you. Overall, I thought Hetalia is okay. I thought the concept is an excellent concept, making fun of the countries, all that stuff. The actual initiation of it, I think it's just personal. It's a personal thing. You're gonna either like the comedy, you kind of not. I kind of just was watching it and like, well, it's not shit, but I'm not really laughing out loud, you know? And how can I forget? There was a lot of yaoi or gay, homosexual reference in there with the characters. It was funny. That was actually really funny. But after a while, I kind of got bored of it, and I could see a lot of fangirls definitely digging that, and I can't blame them. It was really funny though for the most part, but again, I was mostly just watching it and just like, And just to comment, I watched the movie Painted White. The Painted White movie was okay. I liked it because I didn't have to skip every 5 fucking minutes. So that's one thing I really did like about it. The storyline was pretty meh. And I think a criticism for the movie is half of it was scenes from the series. So it was kind of like, okay, I wish I watched this instead of the series because you highlighted the best parts of the series in this movie and you had the movie in there as well. So maybe I would say to someone coming into the series, just watch the Painted White movie, and if you like that, go on back and watch the series. But anyway, that's my ramble nearly over. I'm just going to give it a rating. Hetalia is watchable for me. It's not bad. It's a great concept. Personally, I didn't think it was all that funny. I thought it was humorous, like kind of like, it's okay. You know, I just wish if you clumped it all together and took out the Hetalia bits and made it 6 hours or 13 episode series, I probably would have liked it more. That's my ramble done. How bad was that, Angel?
Well, it wasn't bad. I mean, you did bring up a few good points. I do agree with you on the animation. It was pretty standard. Sometimes it was kind of bad in a way, but now you're not really supposed to actually go into a comedy and actually look at deeper meanings and such, but I actually did that with this. Part of the show really reminds me that we all have to just sit back and take a look at what we as a culture are looked at by other countries. What made it really good was that this is a show from Japan, and yet they were making fun of Japan too. I mean, they were always making fun of how quiet he was, how he wouldn't say a yes or a no most of the time.
Yeah.
And how much he really loved to eat salty food. Another thing that I had a really wonderful time with was, though Italy is useless in a way, he's the only one who seems to always bring a smile to people's faces.
Mm.
So in a way, he wasn't really useless at all. He just wanted a different type of thing going on rather than all the war that was going.
Yeah, he did surrender a lot, though, didn't he?
Well, that was just because he was a coward, but we can go into that forever. But really, it's all about stereotypes and laughing at yourself. That was the main focus on Hetalia. I think it was the main focus of the writer of the manga as well, was we all have to laugh at ourselves. And there were some things that were historically correct. For a while, I never knew that there was a country called Prussia until I watched the show and saw the character Prussia for the first time. And then I did a little research and I found out, oh, wait a minute, my family is from Prussia. They came over before Prussia became a ex-nation. So it just made me a little bit proud about it. That's another thing that I really like about it, is that they brought in a lot of the countries that we don't see anymore or we'd never heard of before.
Sealand.
Yeah, I never heard of Sealand until I watched Hetalia, and I was like, what country is this? And then I look it up, and oh yeah, it is a little a little weird.
Yeah. I did learn that myself, can't deny that. Yeah, all right, so you got any more to say on that, or?
Well, that's pretty much it. I loved it. I do have to say I love the English version better than the Japanese. Again, because, like, the same reasons as Baka to Test. They did a lot of wordplay in Japanese that I don't get, and just some of the jokes did fall bland in the Japanese version. Well, for me, it's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, you did state you was a fangirl in the beginning, and I think the thing I said that pissed some people off, I got an email, obviously from a female, I said I'm a sexist pig. It's just I said I could see a lot of the fangirls liking this title, and, you know, just because I could see a lot of the yaoi undertones, that I wouldn't even call them undertones, they outright did a lot of things, you know, that were hinting at certain guys having a relationship, and Italy being a big, I'm not going to spoil it, but they did something with Italy as well. Again, I was really like, if I was Italy watching this, I don't know if I could take this kind of joke, because they were really pushing Italy in every single negative light you could. You know, I heard what you said about it's the only country that, you know, will make you smile. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know. If I was Italian, I don't think I'll be smiling after watching this show.
Heck, I'm American, and they portrayed us as only eating hamburgers and talking like a jock, for crying out loud.
Come on, is that more offensive than being Germany's bitch who always surrenders at every 5 seconds?
They bring up a bunch of things of America and England.
Of course, they hint a lot of England is superstitious, they're jealous of France. They think that similarities between England and America, obviously, because we're so related anyway. Where we think we're the best, we think that we basically brought up the US, you know, because of the civil wars and whatnot. Yeah, but like I said, I felt like Italy got a real raw deal. Hey, I was laughing. I'm not Italian. I was offended. I was just like, ooh, zing. That's all.
In the end, it's your opinion, it's my opinion. We are all different. So, and that's another thing that they brought up in Hetalia. We're all different. So, one person may like something, another person may not. Heck, nobody likes England's food, according to Hetalia.
You know what? That's not even a stereotype. That's just fact. English food is trash.
Oh, no. I like fish and chips, so.
Fish and chip, no taste. All right, I'm not going to do my Chinese in spirit. I don't even know what that was. But yeah. Anyway, man, Angel, she doesn't even know what that was either. Angel, I want to thank you for having me on this little blurb for Hetalia. I did get a lot of people requesting us to talk about it, and I'm glad I still had you on here so we can get, the guy's perspective, the fresh eyes perspective, and the fangirl's perspective. And I have to say, I think you defended it well. You had some really just reasons for liking it,
Well, basically, if you want to go deep into it, there's a lot of reasons why things are happening there.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to do that, that's all up to you.